Okay everybody, let's go ahead and get started on assignment 3. Now in assignment 3 we're going to turn our attention to the About Me page. And this is one of the most important pages that you're going to work on for your entire senior project. And the reason why is because it's your opportunity to tell your story to the judges. Now usually you would see two things in Google Classroom: the instructions page and then a how-to video that you're watching right now. But in this case, there's also a third video that talks about the importance of the autobiography. I would watch that because it might give you some inspiration and some understanding of why it is so important to write a good autobiography for these judges. Because after all, they're going to be reading this probably ahead of time, and it will give them some context to who you are when you walk into the room and give your presentation. So with that said, let's take a look at the instructions for this assignment. And in this case, there's 3 steps, which makes it sound like it's easier than the other ones, but I promise you it's not. There's a lot of writing involved in this project, or in this page. And then there's obviously the optional 4th, which is add videos of yourself. But for now, let's focus on step 1. And that is the writing of the autobiography. You see, I want you to write 4 paragraphs or more to address the following topics. Paragraph 1 is some background about who you are, where you were raised, and what your family's like. And only share as much as you feel willing to share. And if you need to go into more than 1 paragraph, you're welcome to. Now, that doesn't mean that you should tell us your whole family history of who your cousins are and who your nieces are, and just your immediate family, who you spend your time with. Paragraph 2 focuses on your experiences in school. Remember, this is a culminating activity for your 13 years of school, counting kindergarten. And so talk about what your experiences were like, and why did you decide to come to Del Porto, or if you're an Ovis student, to Ovis. In paragraph 3, what are some of the important events and the important people who have shaped your life? We all have these in our background. And tell me why. And then finally, what are some of your interests and hobbies? And what are your future plans? These change over time. And so it might be interesting for you to look back at this project a few years from now. You probably still have access to it. And see how your plans have changed. See how your ideas have changed, the things you're interested in. So, like I said last time, I would advise you to open a Google Doc and type your autobiography in a Google document first. Because then, again, you get the advantage of spell check and grammar check. In this case, I've already pre-written my autobiography, which, if you read this here, you'll notice is just a random essay generator thing. It's not my actual autobiography. But for the sake of this video, it works. Once you have it written, you're going to start by inserting a text box, just like we did for the home page. And then you can copy and paste all of your writing in at once. So we're done with step 1. We've written the autobiography and we placed it in there. Now, keep in mind, as you're watching this video, you're probably going to have to stop it and go write your autobiography. And if that's the case, that's okay. Just come back to the video and it'll still be here. Step 2 says I have to place at least 1 image on the page. It should be an image of you and your family. You can place many more than 1. I have people put 10, 15 pictures on there. I'd say no more than 10, if we're being honest, because then it just gets to be a little bit too much. This isn't a photo album. But if you want to put your baby pictures on there, they love to see those. Pictures of you with your interests and hobbies if you play sports. Pictures of you and your parents or your siblings, those kind of things. Experiences you've had. But in those cases, you can decide how to place them. I've seen people place just, random photos on the bottom. I've seen them put them in the header. But just for the sake of this video, I'll show you the easiest way. And that's to already have them loaded in Google Drive. So let's say I wanted to pick some of these. I can just click on them and hold the control button. And I can place all kinds of pictures in here of me and my family. Some of the places that I've been. and I hit insert. And look, it will automatically kind of drop them in there nice and neat, especially if you do it all at one time by holding the control button and clicking on them. So I've got my writing, I've got my pictures. Let's see what else I have to do. I have to choose a header image. Just like we did with the home page, we want to make this look nice. And so you saw in the first video how to do this, but you'll go in, either upload a picture of yourself, like I could have uploaded one of these, or I could have selected something from Google or Google Drive. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to keep it simple and choose a random picture just for the sake of finishing the video. Again, choose something personal to you. It could be a picture of your hometown. Again, it could be a picture of you and your family that you upload, or maybe your favorite sports teams, or your interests and hobbies. You decide. Step 4, optional video of yourself doing music or sports. That'd be awesome. Again, drop into my open times and I can show you how to do that. Some writing suggestions to keep in mind. And please, think of this as writing for maybe a job or for college, and not texting to your friends. Capitalize the letter I when you use it by itself. So if you're saying something like, one of my favorite things to do is, I like to read books. Capitalize the letter I. Because what will happen is, I will reject your turn-in and send it right back to you without a grade, if you have lowercase i's when they're used by themselves. Number 2, hit the spacebar twice after you have a period. So if this is a period and I've just finished it, hit space, space, and then start the next sentence. Be sure to capitalize the first letter in every person's name. You'd be surprised how many students don't capitalize their parents' names or even their own name. Spell out all the words. No abbreviations. So if it's California, don't write CA or CA dot. Spell California. Avoid using contractions like don't, won't, can't, shouldn't, couldn't. Spell the words out. And then finally, maybe most importantly, don't discuss inappropriate things in your writing. Judges are going to read this, and I don't want them judging you negatively. And I don't want you getting in trouble for writing something. Now, the exception is, if you're talking about things you've done in the past that you think were a mistake and you overcame it, say you were involved in gangs or you used to be involved in drugs or something like that, you can refer to that and say, I overcame this. But don't talk about that as a current hobby. Hopefully you can understand the difference there. And then go through your final checklist. I wrote my 4 paragraphs or more. I checked my writing suggestions, made sure there was no errors. I added at least one image of myself or my family. And I've chosen a header image. And so you can see all of that is done on my page. And so like usual, I'm going to add one here just to remind you. Number 5, I marked it done in Google Classroom. That way I know to go read it, because that will be the only way I know that that page is done. So if you've finished all those pieces, you are ready to submit, and your About Me page is done. I thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's helped, and please feel free to reach out if you need any help. Have a great day.